gosh, have you seen those miniature cows?
I
Not in
mean,
real
I have
life,
seen miniature cows, yes.
like in real life.
No, but I've seen like people have them in their house and stuff,
I,
like videos and
want to
everything.
see. They're so cute.
Would you eat it or would you just have it as like a dog?
Have it as a dog. Like, I wouldn't be able to eat it. Like, it's too
This is
cute.
what we're coming to, Jen. You got to learn how to get food for yourself. I mean, maybe it could plow your garden so that it would have purpose.
You're gonna eat so many more chicken nuggets. It's Jen and Lizzie, girls that eat. All right, we are live. I am Jen,
And Lizzie.
and we are the girls that eat. Yum yum nom 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 nom.
Nom, 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 nom.
All right,
I
so
already ate my food. My plan was to always have food when we do this, but I ate my food. I drank my shake.
what did you have?
On behind. I had eggs this morning, eggs and cheese in a wrap, because it was easy because I'm, like I told you, dealing with this like sore throat thing right now. And then for lunch, well, I guess it is lunch, yeah. I had a shake and then I had meatballs and roasted broccoli. It
Roasted.
sounds like a really weird combo, but it was delicious. Just a little red sauce on it, nothing too crazy, but it was easy to eat.
Put it
And
on the
chew.
blender. Just-
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
That's gross.
Like kale, it's you can stomach it once you blend it down. It's a little more bearable.
Yeah. You ever had kale when you bake it and they make it crispy when you put
Like chips?
yeah, kale chips like you're made your own?
No, I haven't.
It's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
should
you're
try
supposed
that.
to spray it with like olive oil or something and then put kind of like salt and then it's like do you like to eat the seaweed like they have in those little packages? You
I
ever
don't think I ever have. I know you've had it,
so
but
good. So
I
it's
never
like
see it on
that.
your counter, like your island.
Yeah, so but it's just like that, but it tastes like kale, and then however you want to season it with salt, it's really good. I mean, you
Yeah.
could it's like almost eating like popcorn, but
Oh
not as
yeah.
you could just shove
Yeah.
it and it's healthy.
Just keep eating.
Um, so I was looking at I wanted to start off since we're about health and food and all that good stuff. I found on this website like all these interesting facts, and I was going to ask you and see if you know. So the first one is, do you know what the first food which was eaten in space?
The first food eaten in space would
Yeah.
have to be dehydrated something. Ice cream. You ever had like was it on a field trip? Where was I? Where you get like freeze dried ice cream. It was like ne, ne, not Napolitan.
Yeah,
Is that the chocolate, the strawberry, and the
yeah.
vanilla? But it was like freeze dried. Maybe I'm thinking of army food.
I was like, you had that.
MRE. It's like, yeah, it's like all vacuum packed and sealed.
You do ice cream?
They have ice cream, yeah. I don't think not the army, but I'm thinking it was like a field trip forever ago when I was young. It's like a space themed thing.
Is it cold?
No,
So it's like
have it camping. It's
consistency
camping
of
food.
ice,
Yeah.
but not cold.
Yeah. So it's like freeze dried. It's kind of dry, but then when you bite it, put it in your mouth, it just like kind of melts like ice cream.
Yeah, that
Think
wasn't the
think
answer.
harder cotton candy. That wasn't it. No, I'm just
Was
kidding.
it the first food eaten in space? Well, they went in space like fucking what? Like was it 60s or 70s or whatever?
60s.
Well, the answer is applesauce.
Duh.
Yeah.
I have packets of applesauce in the fridge right now.
Yeah. And
That
then
like squirted out and a little bubble goes floating through the no
right.
gravity.
I know. I always wanted to just try that, but we can't go in space unless you're fucking hella smart.
or super rich.
Yeah. I watched this movie. It was called A Million Miles Away. And it was based on a true story. I forgot the guy's name. It was like that Hispanic actor. He's like,
Usually a comedian. I started watching it too, but I didn't get to finish it. He's
yeah.
usually,
So
usually really
was
funny.
he worked at the Livermore lab. Well, first he started off, he was just some regular farmer. And then
Yeah,
wait, so I mean, do you want me to tell you what happens or are you gonna finish it?
I might not. I don't tell me. Just share. Spoiler alert.
So
Spoiler alert for anyone watching.
yeah. I thought it was a great movie because when you watch the whole thing, it just shows like if you just put your mind to something, like if you want to do that, and this guy was like just a farmer, like I mean, in he was his family would travel from like, you know, that
They were
area
immigrants,
where they live.
right?
Yeah, they would,
Yeah.
do the
Seasonal
corn and all that
farmers.
stuff, and they would just drive around everywhere. And I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought when they worked, they would just go to the spot and then farm and then go back home. But this family was like, we're gonna go to like Tracy, Livermore, and all these Modesto, all these crazy places. But
Yeah.
when he saw the videos, like, oh my gosh, I want to be an astronaut. So he went to school and he actually went to the Livermore lab. He was like a student there. Then he became a teacher. But he like his determination was like, I'm gonna be a fucking astronaut. And
Yeah.
he applied like so many times. I think like 20 something times, and it was always constantly like, denied. And he finally went to fucking NASA and he's like, this is my 25th application. Um, you're gonna fucking accept me. So they gave him a shot and then he fucking went to space. And I was like, wow. I mean, someone that was just a regular farmer and then went into space, and then his wife was like, he had like 5 kids. She was like handling the house, but she was like, if this is your dream, go fucking do it. And then he did.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's fucking amazing. Like he
That is
didn't want to
amazing.
give up. He was like, and that's a big thing. Like you can't just be like, yeah, I want to be successful in something. I mean, space, you have to fucking know shit and be smart. And,
Yeah.
and he did it. And I was like, wow, that was a good movie.
Yeah. I mean, and that shows you too, just actually having specific goals, not just being like, yeah, I want to be successful,
Yeah.
but what does that mean? I mean, and that comes down to goals, and we can get into this later too, once we go over your facts. But setting goals for health and fitness, wellness goals, like, okay, I want to feel good, but what does that mean? Like a digging deeper into setting goals like that. And then you're actually able to achieve them,
Yeah. I mean, you have
like
to work
Japan in the
towards it. Like
movie.
you can't say, okay, I want to deadlift 300 pounds. It's not going to happen overnight. You have to work towards it and you
Yeah.
actually have to go work out.
You have to take the steps to get there.
Yeah. So like yeah, in the movie, he was I mean, he knew he had to do stuff like he learned Russian, he was scuba diving. I mean, he was just doing everything to show like, hey, I got what it takes to be an astronaut. And he
Yeah.
did it. And I was like, wow. And it's the fact that it was based on a true story, I'm like, this is awesome. I liked it.
Yeah. All these people we don't know about
Right?
that
I
have
didn't
done
even know about
amazing
that
things
guy.
with their
He was like
lives.
the first Hispanic guy to go to space, which was really
Oh
cool.
shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Very cool. Okay, so applesauce. Got it.
That was the first one. And then another space question. Do you know what the first food was that was planted in space? How did they word it?
Like
They
planted in
actually-
space, or like while they were in space, they planted it in.
Yeah, what was the first food that was the first food planted in space? There was a movie that did this.
I feel like some sort of grain.
Did you see that movie? What's that fucking guy's name? I'm
Which guy?
terrible with fucking actors' names. I was like, that white guy.
The white guy, Matthew McConaughey,
No,
Interstellar.
the one where he's like in space and then they leave him behind because they thought he died and then they had to make a U-turn to go pick him back up, but it would take so many years. And so he had to like ration out his food. And by the end, he was so fucking skinny. What was his name? Was it not Ben? No, Ben, Ben Affleck's best friend, the white dude.
Matt Damon.
Is it Matt Damon?
Ben
Yeah,
Affleck and Matt Damon?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was
Ooh, what is
The
that
Martian
movie
or something.
called? Oh, maybe.
In
Yeah.
that movie, it's so good. Yeah, so he's like in space with all his space buddies, and then something happens and they thought he died. And so they left him in whatever planet it was, and then he made contact and they were like, "Oh no, we need to go back." But it took,
So,
you can't just make a fucking U-turn. You have to like
like, all right, be there in a second.
yeah, and so he only had a certain amount of food, and so he planted something to like live off of that, and he rationed out his food, and then he had to go to like a different location, and he
Yeah,
gets
it's the Martian.
that was a good movie.
Yeah, and then he tries to kill everyone. What a dick.
No, that was a different movie, but he was also that. It was another movie.
Oh,
Was it Interstellar? Wait, I don't know if that
yeah,
was
I think it was Interstellar.
that was a good.
Okay, so I'm mixing them both. Okay.
Yeah, except yeah, he was a bad guy in that one, but in The Martian, you were definitely rooting for him because it's like, God, is he gonna survive?
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
It's
I'm gonna
so
have to watch
good. You have to
that.
watch it. But
Okay. Okay, so but what's the answer?
potatoes.
I was seeing potatoes, but I was thinking
Yeah.
like corn or something.
Yeah, because I think he had in the movie, he had potatoes and he was trying to plant it. Okay. Last fact, which I don't think this is, I don't know how this is true, but it says broccoli contains more protein than steak.
Really?
But I was
And
like,
where
this is
where
according
did you get this?
to weareteachers.com. So like I went to MyFitnessPal and I was like, okay, steak, and I put like a 6-ounce steak and then I put six
Yeah.
ounces of broccoli. There's definitely more protein in broccoli. So I mean in steak. So I don't know how if you need to fact check this. Like
It could be, let's see.
like a shitty steak.
I mean, 100 calories. So I'm just like looking up Google it. Um, let's see, different images. 100 calories of steak and 100 calories of broccoli. 8 grams of protein in the steak, 11 grams of protein in the broccoli.
Really? Like, but what kind of steak? Just any steak? I mean, like ribeye, doesn't ribeye? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, but then okay. Here's another one. This is RP strength. So RP is like a major um um like nutrition company a lot of people follow. This is saying 100 calories. So it could be by grams too, like that difference, like this many grams of broccoli because it's not as dense. I don't know. But it says 6.8 grams of protein to 100 calories of 13.8 grams of protein per steak.
Hmm.
40 grams of protein, 40 grams of protein.
I didn't even know
This
broccoli.
is a lean rump steak. Yeah, so broccoli does not have more protein than steak, but maybe, yeah, I wouldn't say individually. Like 40 grams of protein to 40 grams of protein for each. You have 198 grams of like a rump steak that's lean, but 910 grams of broccoli.
Yeah, you have to eat
So it does have protein in it, but yeah,
I guess you just have to eat more broccoli.
yeah, you'd have to eat a lot of it.
Oh my gosh, you'd be so
Very filling. Man, this is crazy. I never saw this. I never heard this fact before. Everything on here is like, it's different. Like this is 100 calories of steak, 5.4 grams of protein,
I don't know about
100
that.
calories of broccoli. So, okay, so this makes sense. Let me see if I can figure my math out. So, calories does not mean how much, right? So, you'd have to eat quite a lot of broccoli to get 100 calories of that compared to 100 calories of steak. So
Yeah.
I could see calories maybe. Definitely have to do more digging into that. But when it comes to grams, definitely not.
So then what would it be? What if it's not the calories and it's not the weight?
Yeah, because here's another one. 100 calories of steak has 5.4 grams of protein. 100 calories of broccoli has 11.2 grams.
Is that right?
So 100, here's someone added on to, it was like they took one of the images that I was looking at, like, and then added on to it. So 100 calories of steak is about 2 ounces.
Okay. That's
Teeny tiny, right? 100 calories of broccoli is 2 cups.
yeah, that's a lot.
So if you're looking at, okay, yeah, there might be 5 grams of protein in this much steak compared to 100 calories of broccoli, and you're getting a lot more. 7 grams of protein per 100 calories of broccoli, 13 grams of protein per 100 calories of beef. This is okay. What they put on this thing. Do you really need meat to get protein? Plants have all the protein you need with none of the violence. There it is. There it is. That's where the fact
we're gonna
came
have to
from.
fact check that source.
All right, vegans, freaking vegetarians, you weird host. Just kidding. But honestly, you need animal proteins. I saw just kind of feeding off that. There was a girl who, and another guy's testimony who was like, I was a vegan for so long. I was having all these health issues, tried to do it because they thought it would help them, but it was only making them more sick. And then once they were eating like actual good proteins, not like fast food chicken or whatever, but getting organic stuff that didn't have a bunch of hormones in it, like everything changed for them. Raw milk.
Healthy.
Yeah. Like we don't have to drink milk, but if you're going to drink some sort of milk, the raw milk is the best, not the pasteurized stuff, not soy milk. We don't need any more soy boys in this world.
I think I was watching something and it was saying like the worst type of milk. I think it might have been almond milk, which is the worst out of all the milks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the nuts. And it's, a lot of times it's not even the actual food. Like people with gluten allergies, it's not so much like the bread and the gluten in it, it's what everything is treated with.
All the stuff they put in it.
Pesticides, herbicides, all the stuff that's on our food that we're ingesting constantly. That's the stuff that's really affecting us.
Yeah. I remember a long time ago, I was at some party and some lady was pregnant and she was talking about how she didn't want to give her daughter or the baby milk or something. And some lady suggested, oh, don't give your kid milk, give your kid almond milk. And I'm like thinking, oh, I didn't say anything, but I'm just like, yeah, you should talk to your doctor. I don't know if that's a good source.
Yeah, why would you take the nutrients, of breast milk first off, away from your child?
I don't know. I forgot where it was, but when that lady said that, it just stuck with me. I was like, don't do just talk to a doctor.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get some. And there's a lot of sugar in some of that stuff. Like you got to be really careful about ingredients.
Yeah, almond milk is more, I mean, there's barely any almonds in it. There's so many other things more than almonds. If you look it up, I think because you know how when you look at ingredients, the first one is what the most of it is.
Yeah, right. The majority. I'm looking at
It's definitely not
different brands.
almond.
Yeah. Can't see that one.
So let's see here. As it loads. Where's the book?
soy milk. I remember I had to drink soy milk for a while because I was getting sick a lot, and my mom thought I was lactose intolerant, and I wasn't. But soy milk, ugh,
Is that
it's
what was
terrible.
fucking you up? Soy milk?
No, I think it was just my stepdad.
The stress.
He was just crazy.
Yeah. Like it's
You
a
know, also, I mean, this will be a whole other tangent, which we don't have to go on right now. I should write it down because we should talk about it. But I had a lot of like stomach pains, like kind of gut issues. So like the fermentation could be that. But then even when I was really young, also when I started like having my cycle, I was having terrible cramping, like all these awful things. Like it was always like my gut area issues. And like we did the soy milk thing and that it did nothing, like nothing changed. I would still get sick, but
mm-hmm.
I definitely want to talk about at some point like hormones and things like that because it's not, you don't have to be in so much pain all the time.
Yeah, I mean we should talk
And then
about it. There
yeah, the
was
things we eat too have a huge effect on that also, like our gut health.
yeah,
And
I've seen those videos where, when the, parents with their kids and then like they're saying like, kids are throwing tantrums and this and that. And then when they take the kids to the doctor, they'll be like, well, what are you feeding them? And it totally affects the type of food you feed your kids on how their reactions to certain things are. And I remember one lady, she said she changed the child's diet. There was like no more tantrums. The kids was a lot healthier. And I was like, I
yeah,
didn't know that stuff affects the kid. All the garbage that's out there.
yeah. I I reposted I would love to give this person props for their post, but it was from the Mothers Across America or something like that.
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to look it up to correct that. Maybe we can link it below. That would be good. Um, but they did a study about fast food and like digging into all these different companies, across America and the fast food and what was actually in it and the amount of glyphosates, like all these endocrine disruptors, that mess with your hormones. There was contraceptives and animal hormones like added to like the list from this paperwork was crazy. Like Chick-fil-A has hormones added to it and all kinds of stuff. And I was just like, I love my Chick-fil-A. But good Lord, it was pretty, I mean, very eye-opening. And again, I take like you see studies and you read about studies, and it's good to see all the work that goes into it and read the research because there's an overwhelming amount of information out there. And everyone has a smartphone, everyone has a social media account, and everyone has an opinion. So,
Yeah.
you go from people telling you vegetables are terrible for you to, again, don't eat meat, um, to white bread's terrible, potatoes are bad, like that. And you really have to sift through everything. But seeing this research and seeing it more about fast food, which we don't need, stay away from it if you can, but like in moderation, obviously, it's not
Yeah, not like
the worst thing
every
in the
day.
world.
Yeah. I remember many years ago when McDonald's came out with that McRib sandwich. And
I
then
just heard an ad for that yesterday on the radio. I was like,
oh,
ooh,
I haven't seen it, but I remember reading they were talking about the ingredients in the McRib, and one of the ingredients that was listed on there was also a same ingredient they put in yoga mats. And I forgot. I mean, it was some weird name, like some fucking long one you can't even pronounce it. And then they're like, "Do you know what?" The person was like, "You know what this is?" It's like it's the same ingredient they use to make yoga mats. And I was like, "Why would they put that in a McRib? It doesn't make sense." I mean, I
well,
don't
how
like.
long does your yoga mat last?
I don't
It
know.
lasts a while. So
There,
they're
yeah.
gonna put it in your McRib, so it also lasts a while. That's crazy.
I'm glad I didn't like the McRib. I mean, the only thing I'd really be bummed out about it'd be like the um McDonald's French fries. Those are good. I know, but I don't eat
I
them all
know
the
it's
time.
not
But
good. It's not good news, but yes.
how about was In and Out on the list of like bad stuff in their food? Because they're
I'm trying to find it. Um,
you can't.
I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look for it. Let's see.
You should, but
Yeah.
you can't say you like In and Out in Texas because everyone, not everyone, but a majority of people here in Texas are in love with that damn Whataburger, Whataburger,
What a what a.
Whataburger.
That's how I say water burger.
And I just don't know about that place because the very first time I tried it, it was just so salty. So I was like, you know what? Maybe it was just that location. So I went to another place and I'm like, I just don't see what's so special about this burger. I don't know.
I hope
And
you're
then
probably
someone
gonna
said it's
offend all
about their
kinds of people.
ketchup. They have like this special ketchup, and I'm like, well, you shouldn't be going there just for their ketchup because you could just grab that ketchup and put it on something else. It has to be the burger itself. I don't know, but
Marine life, gut and behavior issues. Yeah, I definitely want to look more into this website.
yeah, share it with me, and then maybe
Moms across America. Yeah.
we'll kind of pick apart like, certain places that we like and be like, okay, well, it has this ingredient. And because I remember too in my psychology class, they were talking about
Mhm.
I don't even know why it was my psychology class, but there were certain products like they have in shampoo which causes cancer. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That was many years ago. There's just so many things. It's like what
Yeah.
yeah.
Trying to get, being like those crunchy people, like trying to get all natural. It's really hard, but um, slowly backing away from things and finding um, American made or American based companies that are more natural and getting away from all these toxic things that are just making us weak as people, keeping us sick. We have um, another podcast I was listening to about hormones. Um, they mentioned in there how we eat about a credit card worth of plastic. Uh, it wasn't a year. I feel like it was more often than that. Credit card worth of plastic.
There are a lot of plastics in salt. You have to get the pink Himalayan salt, the true pink Himalayan salt, where they get it from the mountains and they
Oh,
just get it from there. Because like those man-made ones, they have, if you look into it and zoom in, there are a lot of plastics that are in there that people are
yeah.
seasoning their food with, which is really, really
Celtic sea salt is really good too, like the real actual white salt that's not processed. Yeah. Um,
well.
a
And then
credit card's worth of plastic a week.
a week.
A week. Like plastic like this, like heating up your food in plastic Tupperwares, no good. Like I'm trying to slowly get rid of all my plastic Tupperwares and get like the nice glass ones.
Yeah.
Just everything that we have, we're all gonna die. And this is where we cut in and say it can get very overwhelming.
We're not
But
here for
do the
long.
best you can. Like do the best you can.
Um,
Shit.
well, speaking of like, all the healthy things, like all the like organic, the things that are, a lot better for you, it's just you see that out there, but it's just so hard to buy it because it's so expensive. And it's just like, someone who doesn't have a lot of money, it's like, okay, do I buy this toothpaste that's $7, but it's a lot healthier with only like X amount of ingredients? Or do I buy the cheaper one, but then it has like cancering things? It's just like, it's just so hard because it's like,
Priorities.
right? It's like, okay, I do want clean teeth, but I don't want to spend that much money, but I don't want to fucking die. It's
Baking soda. Baking soda. Baking soda.
Or I heard
No,
people brushing their teeth with coconut oil. Have you heard that?
yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah, because I saw this other thing about, did you know mouthwash when it first came out, it was actually supposed to be made for cleaning your floors. I don't know how it
I
makes,
did not know that, but it makes sense.
but it makes your breath smell so good.
And cleans out more than it should.
Yes, it's like you're fucking up your teeth. I don't know. I don't really use mouthwash too often, but I mean it's a strong, it burns when you use it. But
Yeah,
that smell, it makes you think like, okay, it's clean because we're like learn that minty. When you smell minty, it's like that's fresh. But it just because
right.
minty does not mean it's like good for you.
Yeah. That's isn't that crazy how we've been conditioned
Yeah,
to
to where
think
it's like, oh, it's minty, so it's good. But then at the same time, it's like, oh my God, you used to be, floor cleaning material.
yeah.
Yeah. And then even
Yep.
fluoride. Fluoride is not supposed, like too much fluoride is very, very bad for you, which
Oh
we,
yeah. And there's fluoride in our water system,
yeah, like
fluoride
don't.
in our toothpaste.
So I looked into this and so you know how they put fluoride into tap water? The
Yes.
more fluoride that they put in the tap water, those cities have a lower IQ that have a higher amount of fluoride, which is so weird. But they
Yeah.
keep, and I forgot what, shoot, I don't know what the source was, but it was pretty much like saying they have abundance of fluoride. They're not going to say, oh my gosh, fluoride is not bad. It's bad for you because it would just freaking freak out the whole world. So they just,
Yeah.
I don't know, release it in our water. I mean, I forgot where I was, and I was like, I had to rinse out my mouth, and so I had to get the tap water. I was in a public area, and when I put it in my mouth, oh my gosh, the taste was like, what the fuck? Like, it was not good.
Yeah.
Like, how could you drink
Filtered
that?
water. But I
Uh,
want to look into getting a filter on our house for sure. Like I got one of those shower heads that has like the beads in it that's supposed to help filter stuff out of it. Like for my hair, my hair was so dry, it was just like breaking and falling off. And I'm like my skin's sensitive too, like with my psoriasis. So like my scalp was always dry. So I got one of those. It seems to help a little bit, but with our, city water, it's not going to stop that much. So we're looking into trying to get a system on the whole house. Because
yeah.
even for the dogs, like I think about the dogs, like they drink shit water, but when they're out there like licking dirty puddles. But even, with Diesel being itchy all the time, like we want him to have filtered water too, because I mean they're getting the same stuff we are.
Mm-hmm.
Want them to be healthy.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, because the house that we have, I mean, we have like the regular water, but then there's also that little spout that has like a little filter on the bottom. So
yeah.
I use that water to water my plants because I'm just
You take better care of the plants.
no, but like when I cook rice, like I'll rinse it
Yeah.
out with the regular tap water, but then when I'm actually gonna cook it, I'll rinse it out with the clean water and cook that. Or if I'm
Yeah.
gonna be boiling water that's gonna be in the food, I will use that water. But
Yeah.
yeah, after tasting that water in a public area, I was like, I ain't, how could you cook with this? It's gross.
I mean, yeah. We're very lucky to even have the option. Like when you look at other people around the world,
Yeah.
like you don't have an option, but they make do.
Yeah, did you see that guy, the Mr. Beats? He went to Africa and he like created like, I don't know, it's like 100 wells. And every like little city that he went to, they didn't have a well. They would have to like hike like an hour and carry these big jugs of water, and they would show where their water would be coming from. And it's like this river and it's brown and they drink that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they just must be so used to that gross water that their body is just like, this is normal water. So he created like these big wells, and now they don't have to hike anymore. It's like right there, it's like a
Yeah.
faucet. and it's clear. And I'm like, wow. So he
That's
did that.
amazing.
Yeah. And I'm like, and I mean, he's big on YouTube, but for him sharing what he's doing to like help all these people, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It makes you stop and think like how lucky we are. We talk about like all these first world problems that we have.
Yeah.
Like, ew, my shower head with hot water is making my hair dry.
It's like you'd be lucky enough that you have clear, clean
I,
water.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah,
But these are our problems. Like, it's, yeah, things we got to know about, things we got
yeah,
to look up.
yeah.
I'm going to send you top 20 fast food brands with glyphosate and pesticides. Yeah, a contraceptive was found in Chick-fil-A's food. That's what it was.
And what, their chicken?
I don't know.
They don't
A
serve
sample from
burgers.
Chick-fil-A contained
I don't
nicarbazin, a contraceptive and antiparasitic that has been prohibited from use. 6 out of 10 of the fast food samples contain this antibiotic, the antibiotic monesin, monesin, which is not approved by the FDA for human use and has been shown to cause severe harm when consumed by humans.
and that's in Chick-fil-A chicken.
That was from Chick-fil-A. A
And that's
sample. I could dig more into it, but that was what I remember reading about the Moms Across America test. I'm gonna click on one of these and send it to you.
so I mean, they're obviously injecting that crap in the chicken. And I mean, aren't they supposed to be like, is that legal? Like for them to be doing that and then feeding it or selling it to Chick-fil-A? How does that work?
I don't know. That's something we should definitely look up.
Have you seen?
Yeah, so Moms Across America, you get the credit for this. They're an educational nonprofit, but they did a heavy metal test too among fast food restaurants. 42 samples were tested for arsenic, cadmium, lead, and mercury. 100% of the samples, which were purchased at 21 different locations nationwide, contained alarming levels of cadmium and lead, which leads to mental health issues, violence, behavioral issues, learning disorders, autism.
Oh no.
And everyone is so busy, right? It's fast food. It's supposed to be easy, like the society, and everyone's just trying to grind and survive. And so they just feed their kids this without even really thinking about it. And they wonder why their children have learning disorders. And this, I mean, there's a whole other can of worms to get into with that, but the safety of our children, that's our future.
Right?
Yeah, cadmium is a highly carcinogenic and can cause toxic reactions even at low levels. In and out French fries,
Those are so yummy.
1,158% higher levels of cadmium than what the EPA allows in our drinking water. 1,158%.
And what's cadmium?
According to this, test that they did.
But I
Jeez.
mean, dang it. I mean, the only fast food I really eat, and it's not too often, it's In and Out. Everything
Yeah.
else, I mean, I always just cook at home. I mean, whatever, the chicken, whatever, but
Which is crazy because like I've sat there and watched them cut their potatoes
is
and
it
then they throw them in the oil.
in the potatoes or is it in the oil? Like
It says In and Out French fries. So that's something we should look into.
where is it
I'm
from?
taking notes on the stuff we're talking about so we can come back around for this, but or
Has to
leave
be in
notes.
the potato. Like what happens if they're planting the potatoes in a place that has like all those chemicals?
Right. Or they're treating well, that's what I was saying before. Like it's not so much the food itself
It's what
that's
they're
bad for us, it's what they treat it with, what they inject in it, and because they got to make shit grow fast, they got to make it look pretty. Like no one wants to buy apples that are like small and shriveled. They want the big, beautiful looking ones. that have all kinds of chemicals on them, even our chickens, eggs, like all this stuff. But I'm taking notes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would love to have chickens. I've never had chickens before, but I'm not in this a state where I could live. My HOA would get very upset.
You could get guinea hens.
Guinea
They're
hens.
smaller. Their eggs are still really good, but they're quieter. They're more like peepers. They're not like
I'm gonna have
real
to.
loud.
This. We're gonna have to talk about this the next time around.
Yes.
So we're
Yes.
gonna go guinea
That's
hen.
what I was thinking about doing.
Oh my gosh, have you seen those miniature cows?
I
Not
mean,
in
I have seen miniature cows, yes.
like in real life.
No, but I've seen like people have them in their house and stuff,
I,
like videos and
I want to
different.
see. They're so cute.
Would you eat it, or would you just have it as like a dog?
Have it as a dog. I wouldn't be able to eat it. Like it's too
This is
cute.
what we're coming to, Jen. You got to learn how to get food for yourself. I mean, maybe it could plow your garden so that it would have purpose.
Oh my god. Okay. Hens, and then what was the other one? And then all
I'm
those.
gonna look up about the In-N-Out French fries, potatoes.
Hmm. Yeah.
There's so many companies now too. I follow a lot of more conservative uh, people, or like American-made companies, American-based companies, veteran-owned companies, and we're it's I'm excited to see that we're starting to get back to supporting local businesses. I know we've probably heard about it forever, but it seems to be more people are really working for that now.
Yeah.
American made, organic, non-toxic products, things like that. So there's a few boxes like that you can get. So different things I'm looking into of like boxes you can order products from them, and that they're organic, they don't have a lot of toxins in them,
Mm-hmm.
and you're supporting American companies. Public Square is a good like resource to find stuff like that too. A lot of different alternatives to going to like the big conglomerate companies that are just taking money from everybody,
Right.
but that support wanting to actually for people to be healthy and to be stable and I don't know, just helping our own country and
Yeah,
each other right now.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Mm,
All right. Well, we have a lot of homework to do. So
yeah.
we will educate our million followers.
Yes. We will continue for the millions.
Yes. And, I mean, it's just hard because, everyone wants to be healthy, but again, it's the convenience.
Yeah.
And you got to pick and choose.
Right. Yeah. And that's another thing too, taking all the way back to about goals, like having a goal in mind of, long term, what you want to see, what you want to be, how you want to feel, what you want to be able to do. Like a lot of people are like, I want to be able to play with my kids, my grandkids. I want to be able to breathe going up and down the stairs. Having that goal and then breaking it down into those action steps of how to get there.
Yeah.
Like with you and your journey, like it was back and forth, and then you decided to like, I'm going to stick to this because I want to fit in this pair of pants. Like that was your goal, and you had to have steps to get there, right? So again, when it comes to convenience, things like that, and consistency, doesn't mean you have to change everything at once.
Yeah.
Pick one thing at a time, get really good and consistent at that, and then start to build on it. And that's I would say the best way to actually reach goals.
Yeah. And be patient. It's not going to happen overnight, but you got to
Oh
stay
yeah.
consistent.
Yes.
have someone hold you accountable if you can't stick to it yourself.
Yeah. And that's what we're here for.
Yes, we will hold you accountable. We will check in on
Yeah.
you. Gotta reach out.
I'll take clients. I'll take clients right meow.
Mm-hmm. We will,
Accountability.
yeah, accountability. It's just getting you to where you need to be if you don't know what to do.
Yeah. I like it. I like it.
All right. Well, we will touch base next week, and hopefully, we don't have an ending yet. Like, what's our ending?
We don't have an ending.
Need to work on that. All right. Well, then we will chat later. Bye.
Bye.